Welcome to Wedding Day Podcast with your host, Sonja Babich, CEO of Iron Diamond Media, a leading wedding resource featuring 7 localized wedding brands across the country.
Hi everybody, Sonja here with Wedding Day Podcast. We are here in Lake Oswego, Oregon. So beautiful, a beautiful foggy day. But yeah, I'm here with Alexis Sanabria, publisher of Oregon Wedding Day, Washington Wedding Day, and California Wedding Day. That's a trio.
Hi everybody.
And we are sitting here with Summer Robbins, owner and lead designer, flower designer, and just amazing human being. And she's the owner of Summer Robbins Flowers. I'm excited for you all to get to know her, her expertise, and just her whole world. And she's been doing this since 2015. So, hi, Summer.
Thank you both for having me here. I'm so honored. Thank you for joining us today.
And you seem like a Summer. Like when I met you, I'm like, your name fits you so well.
I was born in July.
August. Yay.
Mom was on the nose.
Totally.
So you've been doing this since 2015. Mm-hmm. What was the igniter?
Oh, my own wedding. It was my own wedding.
Yeah.
I was a fashion designer before this, and I loved fashion. That was my whole thing since I was 10. But then once I was actually doing it, I mean, it was just like bleeding the creativity out of me. And I was like, I need to do something that is more nourishing.
Okay.
And so I planned my own wedding.
Of course,
did my own flowers. Well, my friends helped me do my own flowers,
right.
But the whole entire wedding was really designed around flowers.
Okay.
And at the time, I didn't even think that I would get into flowers. I thought I might get into wedding planning.
Yeah.
And then I talked to my wedding planner friends, and they were like, "No, don't do that." So I had some friends that were actually floral designers, and I was sitting in between the two of them at a dinner party, and they were talking about working with brides, working with planners, and what they did on a daily basis. And I was just like, actually, what I do as a fashion designer is exactly the same, it's just a different medium.
Right.
And you get to work with love stories, you get to have a different boss every week. It's a lot more fulfilling, and I was like, that's it, this is what I'm gonna do.
I love that you said a different boss every week. Nobody has ever said that.
Really?
No.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God.
a different perspective, like different take on it.
I love because they are the boss.
Yeah, 1,000%.
They have different needs, different
they're
ideas.
And they're all individuals.
Yeah.
And I think that when you work in any other job, you've got usually more than one boss, right?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to keep all of them happy. This is just like the couple that really I'm serving. So like, what a gift.
Yeah.
I used to call them my team members when I was
1,000%.
Yeah, when I was running the venue, because it was just like you're working together to execute the perfect wedding day for them. And they were your team, right? So when they first connect with you and you start that process, you're much different than a flower shop. You are a flower design studio. How do you explain that to couples, the difference?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think most people think of floral designers as being florists, which is what we are, definitely.
Right.
But as a floral designer, I only do events. So I don't have a brick and mortar, so people can't just like show up. It's really more about like, we make a huge mess.
Yeah.
We have to clean it up. We like to focus on what we're doing, and so we aren't open to the public. So it's really fun. But we kind of start from design. Like we start from that, and then we source the flowers, the seasonal flowers, and we make sure that everything works with their whole entire event design. So it's really about knowing the couple, knowing who they are as individuals, and then using our expertise and our lens to kind of create something that's very unique for them.
Yeah, I remember when we first spoke, you were like, I work very different, like this is, my approach is very different. And we really talked about like your installations. And then that was such a great like lead off for our team to get to know you and learn your process. And then you did that amazing shoot with us.
So sorry, you got a little curveball there. It happens. I don't know how to work my new phone, you guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, go back to the installation.
Yeah. You did that beautiful installation at Juniper Preserve with the team. Tell us about that process, because
that was amazing.
So Jesse was just over the moon.
When I opened, because I sometimes I don't know what's happening. I just approve the budget, it, right?
Yeah.
And then I get the PDF, and I'm like,
Yes.
it was insane.
Okay, so first of all, I would never knock off anybody else's work.
Yeah.
Never. Like, I just feel like when you're, and this goes for editorial work too, you don't want to like present something that they've seen before. And so you're kind of putting everybody in a little bit of an interesting position because they totally have to trust you to execute something that they haven't seen before. And obviously with weddings, when we're looking at a Pinterest board or a design board that they're coming to us with, we have to really look at like what it is that they like.
Right.
So, and then take whatever seasonal and kind of work with it. So there is a lot of inspiration.
Right.
But even with this one, like the designer for that shoot, she was very open, and she was just like, this is our color palette. We kind of want to do this thing. And I was like, hey, how would you feel about, I mean, it's so hard to get blooming branches because they are literally like this much time of the year.
Right.
And it was that perfect time. And I was like, can we please do blooming branches? Because I know that's not on your mood board, but please, like that would just rock everybody's world. And let's do something really simple. I'm kind of right now feeling more like minimal amount of ingredients and just kind of doing them in a big way.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely trending right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, let's just focus on like 2 ingredients for this whole thing and then see what happens.
And it was so stunning.
And then you put the model in the middle of it.
I know. Well, I for the last few years, I mean, I usually show up and obviously I've got a plan, but I'm not one of those people that kind of shows up and is like, okay, this is all going to go here and this is all going to go there. It's literally like, okay, what am I feeling right now? What is the weather like? I mean, mostly I'm outside.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the weather like? What is the feeling here? Oh my God, I just saw that over there. We need to like make sure that we can incorporate some of that. Let's cut that down. Like, you know, it's like it's really kind of like, I almost look at it. Yeah. And I almost look like it's almost like performance art.
Yeah.
Because we have so little time to do something and we just have to go in and like trust ourselves to do it.
So going off of that, you have the vision, you get in the space.
Yeah.
And then the weather is a curveball.
Always.
And
in
then
Central Oregon, always.
Yeah.
And the Pacific Northwest.
Yes. So like when that happens, how do you pivot? What do you do? Like,
I mean, I think at this point, 11 years in, like it's just like, you just have to prepare for everything.
Yeah.
Like literally the van is full of like a million tools and chicken, like all the extra stuff just in case we have to be like, okay, wait, it's actually sleeting. There's no way they're having this ceremony outside. We have to pivot and go inside and make something else.
Yeah.
But once we have the ingredients and all of the mechanics, we can really do whatever we want.
Yeah. Have you ever had to, like in a pivot, like completely change course from like maybe what you presented to the couple?
Yes.
And so like tell me how that moment.
Okay, like, so that actually happened.
Because that's gonna be kind of wild for the couple, right?
I feel like yes.
Do you paint the picture like?
I mean, at that point you've been working together for a while, but like,
because this actually happened. I want to say in September or October.
Which is like a year ago, right?
I know, right?
In our lives.
We had this beautiful couple and the bride really wanted to get married outside.
Yeah.
And so even the day before we were like, we're doing this outside, even though, you know, it was pouring rain and it was probably not going to happen, but we were all really positive about it. And then that day it was like freezing cold. And I think it was even like maybe even snowing a little bit. And so she tearfully was like, okay, fine, we'll get married inside.
right.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
And so I knew this was going to kind of break her heart a little bit. But what was cool for me was I was like, okay, this actually makes my life a lot easier. And I can really like do it up for her. So
you're like bring that outside in.
A ton of silks. Like we have a lot of silks that we use in Central Oregon. I mean, I know a lot of like event florists do, but it really does help because the weather and everything, you never know. So I brought a ton of silks. I'm like, I know she only paid this much money, but she's going to get something way bigger because I want to like blow her mind. So when I delivered her bouquet, I was like, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, this is better.
Yeah.
When you see it, you're going to be like, this is better. And when so we ended up doing this huge fireplace for her.
Oh, wow.
Because they got married in front of this fireplace. And just like, it was like an enormous arbor, basically.
Yeah.
And so they got married in front of that. And when she came in to take pictures, she was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I never imagined, because it was just supposed to be like a ground thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And when she saw this huge thing, she was just like I never could have imagined.
Right.
So it's almost like I'm sort of like throw me the curveballs.
Yes.
And then I almost feel like plan B, or like when we get thrown the curveballs, that's when it gets more fun.
You
and
flex more.
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
When you make the best art.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm an artist, and actually, I loved always painting within like the deadline of like when I had to turn something into. It's the best art because you're just like,
you're so free.
Yep, this is the situation, and you're like, gotta get it done. The paint's still wet.
Yeah.
Gotta execute.
Gotta execute.
Yeah.
So, but like going back to like the flower shop and like the more the design part, like when you're in a flower shop, it's pretty much cookie cutter. Not to like dog that,
I wouldn't
what do
say
you
100% that. I think that there's a lot of floral shops that are really great. So I definitely don't
agree.
want to take away from
I know
that.
my Rhoda. She's not.
Yeah.
She's one of a kind.
Honestly, like my dream when I first decided to go into flowers was to have a flower shop. Because you're serving the community and you get to sort of be with people for all of their like most important moments.
Right.
Weddings being one of them. But for us, we're only focusing on weddings. So everything, in my opinion, we get to be super design focused, and I feel like what we do is more of an art form. I always, people don't really have the opportunity, unless they're wedding professionals, to see the difference between, say, like, oh, what this person's $250 arrangement looks like next to our $250 arrangement, but it's two different things.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I think because I'm coming from an art background and a design background and a design, like it's a very different approach.
Yeah.
Speaking of your approaches, you also said that you prefer to work directly with the couples.
I love it.
Yep, instead of working through the planner.
Yes, well, and I love the planners.
I know you
that
love
work
it.
with.
Yeah,
I don't want you to ever think
Yeah.
that I don't love the planners because they definitely make our lives so much
Right.
Easier,
But I
yes.
think personally for me, when I do meet the couple or when one of my team members works directly with a couple, to me it's like as soon as I meet them and I look in their eyes, even if it's on a Zoom, I get them right away. It's like I'm looking at what they're wearing, I just feel like that's my sixth sense.
Right.
You know, like I'm not a psychic, but like I can understand people when I'm with them.
Right.
And so I feel like I can serve them better even if it's just like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because people are busy and they don't have time. And once they've already talked to their planner about, the design, they want to enable the planner to sort of say yes and no and kind of remove themselves from the situation. And I totally get that.
Yeah. I mean, every couple is different, right? Some people want to work like that and some people want to be involved in like every
I love the
aspect.
involved people. I'm like, tell me everything.
But you're not a big fan of Pinterest, right?
No, I actually do. I love Pinterest, but I actually like to not just look at what they're doing for their wedding. I want to look at everything. Like I want to just be like, okay, what is she looking
style?
at? Yeah,
what's
like
your home style?
What are the recipes she likes? Like what is she looking at for her home design ideas? Like I feel like that enables me to understand her more as a designer.
Right.
And so that I can serve her better.
Well, I think it's like one of those things, and you sort of touched on that earlier, where it's like, okay, you like this thing, but what is it about this that it's drawing you to it versus like, let's execute exactly this. Yeah.
Copy paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about trends? Like, do you love keeping up with the trends?
Okay, so I will say no, and here's the reason. I don't really like trends, only because I would prefer to make something that doesn't have a timestamp on it.
I agree with that. Like, just even filming this, you're going to say this is a trend, and then it's like, a year from now, it's different.
And also, like, what you're seeing on Pinterest has already been done. And so that's the thing. It's like, it may have been done like 2 years ago, and then it's like old.
Yeah.
So I would much prefer to just like give us the opportunity to like create something new for you that just is going to be for you. And I think that's one of the things that I'm most proud of is like, if you look at things that I did 10 years ago, I think it still looks pretty relevant.
I love that.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
I feel most weddings should feel timeless.
Well, I feel artists look in that lens of like, anything is timeless because it's art.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to be proud of everything that you create and produce and everything.
Yeah.
So you also are a destination, but more in the Pacific Northwest. So how does that process look like?
Oh my God.
Traveling with all your product and needing the chicken wire and...
It's so fun. Honestly, I love a challenge. Off-grid stuff is a little bit more challenging because, you're working with a lot of X factors. But honestly, it's super fun. I mean, we rent an Airbnb, work in an Airbnb. Like, we get most everything done ahead of time, and then we bring it with us.
Okay.
So we're not making everything on site. If it's a longer event, I mean, I feel like here in the Pacific Northwest, it's pretty easy to get somewhere pretty quickly. So you don't necessarily have to do everything on site.
Okay.
I prefer to do the installation work on site
Yeah.
and then do everything else ahead of time.
So again, paint the picture. Like, how do you keep
Sure.
the flowers fresh? How do you keep them happy?
I mean, I think living in Central Oregon and working in our crazy weather actually has helped us be really good at that. So, you know, just making sure that everything is in the right temperature, out of the sun, as fresh as possible for as long as possible. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite flower?
I mean, every season is a different one, but I would say that my favorite flowers are actually in the spring.
Okay.
And we don't do a ton of weddings in the spring in Central Oregon because we have such weird weather in Central Oregon. But yeah, I mean, like fritillaria, I would say, ranunculus, peonies, obviously, when you get like later spring.
Yeah.
But fritillaria, I would say, is probably my super favorite.
Your
so
super
there's a
favorite.
few different types of fritillaria, and they're very, very, very expensive.
Okay.
And I mean, some of them are like wholesale $20 a stem.
Right.
But they do a lot. They're like a lot of look in like a small package.
Love that.
Yeah.
Do you only take so many weddings a year?
No. I mean, I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
And I have employees. And so our wedding season is from May to November. So we will try to say yes to as many people as possible. Obviously, we have to be strategic with making sure we have enough space and time and resources to do it.
Depending on the job.
Yeah,
the
but I would
project.
love to say yes to everybody. We just always can't. Like sometimes if we have a larger wedding, we have to really focus on that alone.
Yeah.
But if it's smaller stuff, we don't have a minimum anymore either.
Okay.
Because I really love to serve everybody. So if somebody just wants like a bouquet and a boutonniere, I'm happy to do that too. You know, I felt like at some point I did have a pretty high minimum, and that was really great, but I felt like I had priced my own self out of that.
Right.
So like if I was getting married again, I wouldn't have been able to afford myself.
Right.
So I really love that because I have the team I have, we can actually serve way more people.
So will you deliver it, or do they have to come and pick it up if it's like a smaller order?
We deliver or we pick it, or they can do pickup. Yeah,
Whatever,
we just kind of like tailor it to whatever they need.
Totally do.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah. I want to be as helpful as possible.
Yeah. Last question.
Sure.
What is your favorite part on the wedding day?
Delivering the bridal bouquet. It's the best. It's the best because, I mean, my goal is always to make them cry. In a good way, obviously.
Yeah. Happy tears.
Yeah, happy tears. I think because it becomes real for her.
Yeah.
The second you walk in with those flowers. Obviously, she's there with her girls. She's there with her mom.
Yeah.
She's getting her makeup and hair done, and she's feeling all the feelings. But when you see those flowers, that's really what makes you feel like a bride.
I agree 100%. Like, you're not a bride until you have that bouquet.
Yeah,
I know. Then it's like, it's real. It's my turn.
Yeah, and the thing about a bouquet too, which I don't think you realize it until you're a bride, is that that's kind of your thing that grounds you. Because if you aren't holding anything and you've got this beautiful hair, beautiful makeup, beautiful dress, and everybody's looking at you, and you're not used to everybody looking at you, which is a very, very weird feeling.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then it's just like something that you can kind of hold and be like, okay. Like I always kind of tell them, I'm like, just, you know, this is your center back. Like you can feel this with your thumb. Like, you know, just hold and like look at it. And then, you know, I always try to put something special in the back just for her too. But I feel like it just kind of gives you something to sort of ground into.
That's awesome, yeah.
Well, Summer, I could talk to you forever. Oh my
I could talk
gosh.
to you forever too.
I think you're doing my flowers. If I ever got married again, which I'm not.
No, you just have like a really amazing vow renewal and a big party.
Yeah, but exactly, vow renewal.
You have more money at this age, so.
That is true. Yes, you're right. It would be a banger for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us.
Thank you, Summer.
Yeah.
Always such a pleasure. Thank you both.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into Wedding Day Podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.